Kris Chambers, the half-baked kid, on a mission to once again be Superkick'd Champion for an unprecedented third time. He would be the first man to do it. And in his way is Bruce James. Round one continues here for these superstars and their quest to acquire, to capture, to get their hands on the vacated Superkick'd Championship. And it's Chambers and James here. Chambers with a go behind, taking James to the mat. And since the pandemic, we've seen Bruce James from time to time become Botch James. So he will have to avoid that if he plans on getting past HBK himself and moving on in the tournament. But right now it's Chambers in full control, working on the arm of Bruce James. James with a nip up, breaking the hold. And for Kris Chambers, we've seen this man go from crowd favorite to one of the most despised men here at Superkick'd. Stabbing his former friend Roach in the back, basically dismantling Kush. And a test of strength, and it's James and Chambers in the center of the ring, and I gotta say, Bruce James holding his own here is quite a surprise. Oh, just as I say it, wait, Bruce James reversing, and it's Chambers though. No, it is Bruce James, he's reversed it, taking Kris Chambers to the mat. Front face lock by Bruce James. Chambers though comes out of it, working on the ankle, attempting to twist that foot square off the leg of Bruce James and amputate it for him. And it's Bruce James countering. Has he fully? Yes, he has. I'm surprised by Bruce James here, and I think Kris Chambers is too. I don't know if this Kris Chambers maybe took Bruce James a little lightly here in the early going. And both men now locking up once again. And it'll be the veteran, Kris Chambers, struggling. I can't believe I'm saying this. Chambers though, oh, missing with that chop. Blocking that chop with his knee. Clever maneuver and a huge clothesline. And as I was saying, the veteran Kris Chambers is going to have to find a way here, and I believe he just has, to neutralize Bruce James. That threat is all Bruce James needs, is that door to be open, just to be just a bit ajar. And he could have, or might still, squeak out the win here against Kris Chambers. But right now it's Chambers in control. Pummel. Bruce James punishing the man. Chambers scoops up Bruce James, plants him in the center of the ring. Going for the cover. Doesn't hook the leg, and Bruce James comes out the back door. And now, a little bit of a calm look on the demeanor of Kris Chambers. And I think he's figured out Bruce James here. What a stop to the side of the head. Bruce James seeing stars, seeing little Tweety birds. Referee over to check on him. Crowd trying to urge him on here. As Bruce James struggling in the corner and eats a clothesline. Suplex coming up and over the hard way goes Bruce James. Chambers now, defiantly, nonchalantly, attempting the pinfall. Can't put away Bruce James. Chambers now, with James in the corner, one big right hand. Methodically taking out Bruce James here. Irish whip, catching him in the corner. Bruce James attempted the counter. Slipped out the backside. Counters the clothesline. And now, swinging neck breaker. And maybe now the tide. A window of opportunity opening here now for Bruce James. What an uppercut. Rocking Kris Chambers sends him into the corner. And another by Bruce James. And it's Bruce James now with Kris Chambers. Suplex of his own coming up. Beautifully done. Chambers feeling the effects of that. And kicks out at one though. Crowd urging Bruce James here, cheering him on. What a victory it would be for Bruce James to advance in this tournament. Chambers now with Bruce James, bear hug, and then drives him right to the mat with authority. Both men down, but it's Chambers in a little bit better condition at the moment. Scooping up Bruce James again. Bruce James, oh, sleeper hold. Will Bruce James put Kris Chambers to sleep? Chambers is fading here. Bruce James has got it cinched in the center of the ring. And referee is right there. They want to check to make sure this isn't a choke. Chambers is out. I think Bruce James might win this thing. Oh wait, Chambers signaling. Referee, that's one. With the arm again, that's two. Bruce James is going to advance. No! Chambers still in this. Somewhere, somehow, Bruce James lost the hold. And the oxygen and blood now making its way back to the head of Chambers. And Chambers now powering out of it. Oh, but Bruce James won't let go of the sleeper hold. Once again, Chambers in the center of the ring. But powers Bruce James into the corner. Bruce James, though, going up to the second rope here. Bruce James from Brett's rope. Chambers back to his feet. James leaps up and over. Chambers connecting with a clothesline, sending both men to the outside. Referee out quickly to check on both men. And as you can see, there's no mats on the outside of the ring. There's no protection. Chambers threw caution to the wind. Chambers now with Bruce James, whipping him back into the ring. But it's Bruce James up to his feet. Suicide dive to the outside. Taking out Chambers. Follows it up with a few rights. What a performance here by Bruce James. James now whipping Chambers into the ring. Oh, but it's Chambers up to his feet. This is with a clothesline. Bruce James, oh, back body drop by Chambers sends Bruce James to the floor. Chambers now diving to the outside. Unbelievable. Both men once again down and out on the floor. And that last sequence shows what the Superkick'd Championship means to both of these men. You can hear the referee up to a 3 count, now 4, and Chambers struggling to get back to his feet. Referee up to 6. Bruce James is still down. Chambers though back up. Chambers with James, rolls him into the ring. Breaking the count. And this match will continue. Chambers struggling. Took all his fight just to get Bruce James back into the ring. But it's Chambers. Oh, I know what he's doing. Chambers now. He's going to take the elevator to the top floor. And we're going to see that patented 420 elbow. Oh, Bruce James up there to meet him, to counter, saving himself in this match, rocking Kris Chambers. Chambers, precariously, I think he's hung up by, he could twist a knee ligament here. Chambers and James exchanging right hands, headbutt by Bruce James, and that one smarts. Both men in a dangerous position here. One slip up could cost them. Oh, Chambers with a wedgie to Bruce James. These guys slugging it out on the top rope here. And I think Bruce James, he wants a superplex. Trying to get Kris Chambers up and over. Can he do it? Oh, Chambers blocking. Chambers now with Bruce James dropping him over the ropes. Bruce James landing awkwardly back into the ring. James up to his feet. Chambers now. Oh, Chambers gonna cross the strains. The indica, the sativa. Chambers rolling over Bruce. No, Bruce James tosses the bottom rope. Blocking the joint. Denying Kris Chambers the opportunity to smoke him. Now taking the legs out from underneath Kris Chambers, who crashes hard. He just struck his head on the ring here. Oh, Bruce James. And I think Chambers going to be singing a little higher in the showers. James wrapping Kris Chambers' knee across the ring post. And we've seen this before. Bruce James, figure 4 leg lock with Chambers wrapped around the ring post. Shades of the Hitman. Kris Chambers screaming in agony, in pain. Chambers trying to fight his way out of it, and he has, breaking the hold. Chambers could have a severe knee injury here. Moments after being awkwardly hung up on the top rope. What a match. Bruce James now. He wants Chambers up. Bruce Bruce James now slingshotting himself back into the ring, right into a super kick. Chambers almost decapitating Bruce James. Referee up to 4. Both men down and out. Chambers hasn't even moved. Oh, and of course now, here he comes. Chambers now back to his feet. Bruce James back up as well. Both men using the ropes to help themselves up. It's Chambers now. Oh, missing with that right. Blocked by James, who responds with a right hand of his own. Bruce James, oh, both men simultaneously hitting each other with right hands. Both men now with clotheslines. Both men once again connecting in the center of the ring. But it's Bruce James hitting the ropes, blocking that kick. Bruce James, oh, Chambers stepping aside. James missing with the enziguri, and it's Chambers now, once again, attempting to roll Bruce James up into the joint. Crossing the strains. Oh wait, Bruce James counter, roll up! To put away Chambers, no, Chambers just kicking out. Oh, what a super kick by Bruce James. And this is it for Bruce James. This is your opportunity to advance in this tournament. Bruce spring stop, connecting. Bruce James hooking the leg, 2, 3. No, Chambers kicked out. Bruce James can't believe it. Over Bruce James though. Staying focused. This is a new and improved Bruce James. Chambers back up. Bruce James slingshotting himself back into the ring. Corkscrew uppercut. And is this it? Hooks the leg. 2. Oh, Kris Chambers once again kicking out. Bruce James with everything he's got, but can't keep Chambers down. Bruce James out. No, it's Kris Chambers. Fireman's carry. No, Bruce James slipping out the back door. Roll up perhaps. Here it is. Will this put away Chambers? No, Chambers with the tights. Oh, Chambers now. He's going for it. The strains are... Oh, he's got him. The joint in the center of the ring. Will Bruce James tap? Bruce James is tapped. Kris Chambers will advance. Heartache for Bruce James. So close, but yet still so far. Kris Chambers victorious, and he will advance and is one step closer to being the first ever 3-time Superkick'd Champion.